Welcome back, guys. Poker Vlog episode 13. And today's first hand, we got pocket aces in the big blind. Hijack opens for 20, two callers. We're going to 3-bet it up with aces to $120. And this guy's going to defend his early open. Actually, he's not early. He's in hijack. Anyways, he makes the call. The guy over here is going to jam all in for like $120 or less. Probably like, honestly, that looks like $70, $80. And now action's going to be on to the small blind, to this player to my right. He's going to take some time before putting out an additional $100, bringing the pot to $450, 4 ways with one guy all in for the main pot. Now, I just want to take some time to say that the image is a little bit blurry, and I want to apologize for that. The reasoning isn't because of my camera per se, although these chips look pretty high quality. It's because originally this format was shot in vertical, and I stretched it out into horizontal because I wasn't planning on putting this to YouTube initially. This is some older content, like from a few months back, but here we are now. Promise you, by the next episode, we'll be back to high quality cosmetic production with no guarantee of graphic errors. To the flop, $450, ace 8-5 rainbow. Pretty nutty board. In fact, it's so nutty, I don't even know what my opponents could have other than a set of 8s, set of 5s. And to be honest, I don't even know how often they're going to have that because they have to call $120 pre-flop. Hands they could have is the last remaining ace queen, ace king, ace jack, and then hopefully a hand like pocket queens, pocket jacks, pocket tens. Those are the hands. With that being said, I'm going to bet $115 here, which is exactly 25% pot for 1/4. I think you can go even smaller. We're so ahead. Or you can even check, really. I don't think any option is bad or worse. I mean, there's merits to everything at this point. That guy's going to fold, and all in is already all in. So now action's onto the small blind, Asian older gentleman to my immediate right. And he's going to take some time facing my 115. I like 115, applies pressure to like ace jack, ace queen, builds the pot so we can start stacking off. Also, it just puts them in a really weird spot as well because, you know, they know I have ace king a lot. They know I have ace queen a lot. And then I could just be airballing. He check raises me to 325. That's the last thing I saw. So at this point, I'm thinking, well, he has pocket 8s or pocket 5s, or he has ace king. I think if he had ace queen, he probably would just flat. So he either has ace king or pocket 8s or pocket 5s. Those are the only hands he has. And given that range, I don't want to raise him back. I think jamming here seems a little, I don't know. It just seems like a really, I don't know. To the turn, I make the call, 5 of hearts, and he, you know, I got the boat now. So now I'm thinking, oh, does he have quads now? Because I said he either has ace king, pocket 8s, or pocket 5s. He has quads now. I no longer, he checks, I snap check back. And then he donk jams. Before the river comes out, he donk jams. So once I snap check back, I snap call blind. I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. I got aces unless you got quad 5s. I don't remember what the river is because it doesn't matter. And he's like, oh, oops. He shows me ace 8. So he defended pre-flop for $120 ace 8. And then, yeah, and then he donk jams river. I actually think this is kind of interesting, his donk jam river, because if he thinks I have like ace queen, ace jack, then I guess I have to call. So it's quite fascinating. Anyways, this is a cooler. On to this next hand with ace 10 of clubs. We're going to raise it up to $35. Cold call, cut off to our left is going to make the call, and action player is going to defend as well. 3 ways to flop, ace, ace, 4. It checks through. I think that this hand plays well for some deception. We're just so ahead, and we're behind. It is what it is. To turn is a 10 of hearts. I'm going to bet $25. Cutoff makes the call for 25, and now it's going to go to the initial guy who bumped it up for $10, I think, or he was in the straddle, either one, probably in the straddle. And he's going to check raise to 85. And he checked flop, and now he's check raising turn, so he could have pocket 4s. If I think he has pocket 4s, I should just be raising him. But if I think he just has like some ace X, then I think there's merits to raising, and I also think there's merits to calling. But oh, now he finally check raised to 85. The graphics is a little bit ahead of schedule. I apologize for that. You guys know If you're a viewer of this channel, I do a lot of graphic errors. Anyways, I'm gonna make the call for 85. I think the reason is because I want cutoff to come in as well. I think if it was heads up normally, I might have back raised maybe to cooler pocket fours and ace four to not lose him, but with cutoff also in, I kind of want him in. River's beautiful for a diamond, so I mean, I guess if he has pocket fours, now I'm the one getting cooler, and he continues for $100. I'm like, oh, he's got an ace. Let's cooler him, or he has pocket fours. I'm all in. I'm all in. Snap all in. I didn't even need to Hollywood. I'm like, whatever. Someone's got an ace and no one's folding. He folds. I don't even know what he has. He check raised turn and bet 100 into the field. Weird. Anyways, we got pocket jacks for this next hand. We're gonna open up for $20. Button is gonna make the defend. He's a little bit shorter stack. Pot is 993 rainbow for $40 out there. I'm gonna bet 15 bucks, and that's not exactly right. Because if you see here, it's 60% checking, which makes sense, but our bets are generally on a larger size, and there's no real smaller sizing. Like, at least go half pot to 60%, which is weird because if you look here, distribution of hands, equities, big button is actually leading against us. Our nutted ranges are all the same. We all have ace nine, which makes sense why we have no nut advantage, but like for the wider distribution of our hands, button is ahead of us, which is why it's strange to me that we should be betting big. Anyways, this is his range. He's gonna have quads. I see pocket nines in there. He's gonna have 10s, jack 10 suited. He's gonna have a lot of floats for this sizing, so it is what it is. Pocket jacks is 30% checking here, and we're betting large for all the amounts. There's no small betting. It's always half pot or more, so I didn't really follow it. To turn, it's 40% checking, so this one's a little bit more in line. I do check the turn, and he bets $40, and now we call about 23% of the time. If he bets bigger, it's 100% a call, but because he bet kind of small, we can now call. I mean, we can now check raise, but if he bets bigger, we just call. And now on this river, we actually donk lead. On this river, 7 clubs, we only check 16% of the time, and we donk lead like 50% of the time small, and donk lead 40% big, which is interesting. I donk led because I just figured he was going to check back a lot, and I don't want him to check back, so I donk bet 2/3 pot for 100, and he snap calls me. So I'm like, well, you can't really have a straight because due to flop action, you just don't seem like the player to have like 8-10 here or jack-10 here. Jack-10 is nothing, but you get what I'm trying to say. And this is a distribution of hands once again. Now on this river, actually, once again, nut advantage doesn't change. We're basically always ace-9. But my river bets are just way stronger here. I shouldn't say river bets. Our river equity is way stronger, and therefore that's why we donk bet a lot. And yeah, he snap calls me at pocket fives, and pocket fives actually calls 90% of the time and raises us as a bluff 10% of the time. So yeah, the more you know, the less you know. In this hand, we have pocket nines now. My graphic cards are gone, but that's okay. Anyways, we're going to open it for $20. Button's going to make the call. Small blind's going to make the call. We're going to go 3 ways to flop of $60 out there. And we're going to wait for a flop. If you guys like what you see, what you hear, please be sure to give us a subscribe. Why did I say give us? Anyways, the flop is 7-3 deuce. And we're going to bet $15. I'm imagining Button's not here. It's very... If Button's in here, the ranges change, but Button will fold, and I'm just looking at it for a heads up, not a multi-way pot. Generally, those are the ranges, because it gets very weird when there's multi-way. Yeah, he checks to us. The turn is a 9 of hearts. We have nutted, and we're supposed to overbet here 60% of the time. I bet $20 into 90, which is not a thing. You're not really allowed to do that. But I did it anyways. He makes the call for 20, and the river is beautiful. It boats us up. No straight, no flush. And now $130 out there. What do we size for? You guys go pot 130. You guys go like $70 here, or maybe $60 here. It says 92%, 1.5x pot, and then like occasionally even 300% pot. I went for something in between. I went 2x pot. That's not actually in between. The in between would go down. I went 2x pot because I figured because I'd size so much smaller on the turn, I need to make up for it on the river, so I went even bigger than usual. I don't know if that's really allowed or logical, but that's what I did. To the next hand, we have ace 10 off, and this one is going to be a little fun one. As you can see here, 3-bet 34% of the time against Button. Button's a reg pro. We and I have history. We only play big pots against each other, mostly, because, you know, it's just the way it is. And I'm going to 3-bet to $70. Pretty standard stuff so far. I really want him to fold because I don't want to play ace 10 against an aggro guy in position. The flop is Jack 9-9, not the board we're looking for. $140 out there, and our range is a lot of c-betting. 60% c-betting, 40% checking back. Ace 10 off primarily is c-betting a whole bunch, 15.8% checking back. So we have the green light, we're gonna bet. And I'm mostly betting pretty large, half pot or more. So my small sizing doesn't really make a lot of sense. But I'm just gonna full range small size, so I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's just what I'm gonna do. Forget solver. He's gonna make the call for $50, squeezing me up $240 a turn and jack of diamonds. Now here we're 50% checking, 50% betting. Getting a little bit dicey now, but this is a pretty good card because if he has a 9, he might give up to the aggression. Ace 10 off is 20% checking, 80% betting small now. Now it makes sense to bet small because like boards are so locked up. If I have a jack, nothing's ever gonna happen. If I have a 9, nothing's really gonna happen. I'm never really afraid of anything. And I do actually bet small. I bet $70, which is around like 1/3, 1/4 pot. So pretty in line there. I like it. I like it. Glad to hear it. Can this guy stop calling? Interesting enough, this guy is supposed to start raising me. Obviously, he's gonna raise me with Jack X. But he's gonna raise me with bluffs, so like Queen 10. Which is fascinating, which makes sense, but that means solver probably assumes I'm bluffing a hand like ace 10 here, so when he raises me queen 10, I just basically have to fold. River is now $380, it's a brick, and now it's a check 87% of the time. 13% of the time we bet 1/3 pot. So what do you guys think I do? Do you guys think I give up? Do you guys think I bet small? Do you guys think I bet half pot? Or do you guys think I just rip it in? You never know with me. I'm like, yeah, $240, 2/3 pot. I think my logic was if I just bet 2/3 pot, maybe you'll fold 9x occasionally. Maybe, I don't know. he has king 9. He's not supposed to have king 9 in his range. If you like what you see, what you hear, please be sure to subscribe. See you next